Hey guys, SoCal Val here. You are listening to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast.
Welcome, everybody, back to another episode of the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Andy Burrows. This is our top 10 show. We do these every Friday. So far, we've had the greatest wrestlers, the greatest tag teams. This week, we are doing top 10 intros of all time. These go down an absolute storm. Thanks to everyone that reaches out to us on Twitter at HTTBuckle. We absolutely love interacting with you. As you said, I'm your host, Andy Burrows. I'm joined by both of my illustrious co-hosts today. Absolute awesome to do this. Mr. Adam Cousins. Adam, good evening, sir. Happy Friday. How are you?
Happy Friday. It's another Friday closer to my birthday next week.
Yeah, I swear you're like the Queen. I swear I've done this already with you. I think you're like... No, but can we say you're like the Queen? No, does the King have two birthdays?
Queen's dead.
No, yeah, does the King have two birthdays? Does the King have two birthdays? Does that
I
carry on? Is that a thing?
I'm a lord. I have more than two.
Jesus. Well, talking of lords and someone that probably deserves two birthdays, I'm joined by my other co-host, Mr. Dave Robinson. Adam, I'll let you do his nickname because you both got nicknames now. I'm just here. I'm Andy. I'm just playing old
me.
You need
a gimmick, and
yeah, you two. I need some sort of gimmick, but go for it, Adam.
Boom. Anyway, I'm not going to do mine. Mine's obviously Adam C. Bebe from Adam Cole, and we are joined by our dynamite man, Dave D. M.D. Hello, Dave. How's your Friday?
Good, man. Good, yeah. Had a good week, to be fair. But,
good.
Fridays are always the best day of the week, aren't they?
Yes, we have made it to another Friday, lads. Another top 10 show. Absolutely love doing these. Split opinion. Me and Adam very rarely agree on a lot of these, apart from last week when we done our tag teams and we were pretty much copied each other. Another, like you say, go and check out the intro show. Go and check out all the shows on YouTube. But gentlemen, top 10 intros. I mean, when Dave, let's come to you first, mate. When you think of intros, what do you think? I think of so many things. I think of the pop, the crowd reaction. You know, it's just there's something about, and especially intros for me hit harder sometimes when there's a surprise return. The Royal Rumble is probably the perfect example. When you might hear a theme that you haven't heard for 10, 15 years. I remember like when Kevin Nash come back at the Rumble a few years ago and you were like, hang on a minute, you know, Mick Foley's turned up, Booker T. There's so many that the intro hits and you're like, the Rumble is probably the perfect example where in one night you could get all your top 10 favorite intros. I mean, Dave, when you see intros and hear intros, what does it get the juices flowing in you, mate? Because when it's done
100%.
properly and like the CM Punk returning on Rampage a few months ago back, that was incredible. For me, that's one of the best pops I've heard in the modern era. But when you think of intros, mate, what do you think of?
Yeah, exactly that. And it's not just the music. Sometimes it can be like the opening line, like the Outlaw, New Age Outlaws, oh, you didn't know, or the glass shattering, or, you know, sometimes it's just a noise or a thing. But yeah, instant get that reaction, that recognition, that nostalgia as well. When you say when it's a big return or somebody that hasn't been there for a while, it's just all goes into the presentation so well. And it's a major part of modern day wrestling, isn't it? The theme. There's not many that come out without a theme, or, you know.
No, it's funny how you say modern day wrestling there as well, because obviously when us three all grew up, Adam, it's like I remember when Hogan's Real America debuted, and before then it was just, you know, they were getting pops just by walking out behind the curtain. A lot of you look at a lot of the old footage. I think I watched not long ago Hogan versus, I want to say Savage at Madison Square Garden, but obviously I'm just watching it on old school. I'm going through YouTube. I can't remember what I was watching. Obviously they just curtain opens and they walk out. You know, look, WrestleMania 1, there was no fanfare, there was no curtain opens. If you said to like the modern fan now in the 80s or in the 70s, it was like, how did wrestling? They just opened the curtain.
Where's the influence as well on like boxing, darts? You know, that for me has come from the world of wrestling. You know, that introduction, like it's really got bigger and bigger in other sports.
And the production of it as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
Paul Nicholson.
Our boy.
Yeah, our boy. When we interviewed, when we done the interview with him, and the influence that wrestling played on him. You know, he come out of the World Championship to the CM Punk music. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. Yeah, but boys, let's get into our top tens. Dave, let's start with you, my friend. We always do this in reverse order, so we will start from number 10 and illustriously head up to number 1. So, Dave, who for you has the 10th best intro in wrestling story?
So I've snuck in a bit of a wild card at number 10, one that I really wanted to get in there. It wasn't a theme for too long. It probably a year or two that it was in use. I used to love Evolution's theme.
Oh, mate, that's on my honorable mentions. I love that song. I've got it on my iPad, though.
Yeah, I can listen to that song. Like, I'm a big Motorhead fan anyway. My dog's called Lemmy. You know, that's like I love Motorhead. So, but I thought, well, it's not as iconic as some of the others in my list, but I just had to get it in my top 10 somewhere.
Oh, that's a brilliant song. That is a shout. I'm so gutted. I couldn't get it in. I wanted to.
No, I mean, again, honourable mentions. I mean, great. In my honourable mentions, I've got Triple H. I mean, it's just an honourable mention.
What one? He's had 3.
Oh, the game. Time to play the game.
That wasn't in your cut. This cut. We're done.
Are we not recording?
Let's go.
Okay. Thanks for tuning in to the Hidden Turnbuckle. No, sorry, mate. It was hard. I'm an 80s and 90s.
There's so many, man.
I'm an 80s wrestling fan. They're honorary mentions. Okay. Well, I told you last week we went for a whole show without disagreeing.
Yeah,
we haven't even. Dave's done number 1. Dave's number 10. And me and Adam we're like cats and dogs. Adam, come on then. Who you got at number 10 and why, sir?
I love this. This is going back to the ECW days.
Oh, here we go.
And it's Sandman, Metallica, Enter Sandman. What an absolute tune. I used to hate when they used to cut it out of the broadcast because obviously it's the royalties thing or whatever. But like, I think that was one of the first. And nowadays you hear it all the time. People sing like Cody's song and Seth. You were singing that at show. I sang that. I was at 1PW with a load of friends, and he actually walked past us on the way out. And we were just singing it, drinking beer, and it was the whole. It's weird. We say presentation, but his presentation walked out of ECW, fag in his mouth.
Yeah, beer smashing against his head. Imagine being in the ECW arena in New York when he come out to that intro. Could you imagine it? You wouldn't get away with it now.
No, you can't even smoke in buildings now.
Exactly. Even when they had like the reunion show and you wouldn't get it. No, great choice, mate. Great choice, both. Great choices.
Like you said, though, ECW, that really using bands for their theme, that wasn't something that was really widespread, was it? No. WWE, they all had their own theme. So, the use of Metallica, that was probably the first use of a band for a theme tune.
And if you think about it now, I mean, they've played Triple H's music at WrestleMania. There's been, everyone seems now WrestleMania seems to be like it's a bit of a concert as well nowadays. So you know what I mean. Number 10 for me, gentlemen, is D-Generation X. Just for me, again, we mention it. I don't think they're in the show that goes past. We don't mention the Attitude Era, but for me, that was the Attitude Era. When that whole kick, them versus the NWO, for me was just incredible. It's so hard. This list is. There's probably people out there that are like, I'd have DX at number 1. There's probably people that have been watching wrestling, for maybe only 20 years that be like DX. But for me, like especially the original one with the little lines going across the Titans. My God, I was like, here we go. That was back then, right? I don't know what you guys think. Back then, that's when if Monday Night Raw kicked off like that, it got something going inside me. Now, don't get me wrong, I watch Raw, but this past couple of weeks ago when Seth come out as champion, I'm not sure I'm down with the whole singing the theme song thing, but there wasn't a person is there anyone out there that doesn't sing the DX theme tune even now when it comes on?
All the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you ready? Isn't it?
Bang, bang.
Now, oh my God. Yeah, for me, incredible. Dave, number 9 for you, my friend. Who have you got and why?
So, I'm a big WCW fan.
You are.
And
you are.
This theme, this was one of the I can remember this around that Attitude Era, like you said, Andy, the NWO, DX, that kind of period. I love the NWO Wolfpack theme. And like I was talking about before, the start of the song, it was a wolf hell. And then you kind of knew the Wolfpack was in. It was a really cool track. And obviously it was a break-off group from the original NWO. But I love that theme. I used to listen to it on repeat.
No, mate, great theme. I had it as my ringtone for quite a while. No, mate, I can't disagree. I mean, geez, the NWO. I mean, just the music alone set them apart from, you know, again, it comes back that time, the NWO, DX, they're probably not as big without them theme tunes. Don't get me wrong, it was good and the war was good, but the music played such a instrumental part in what was going on back then. But now, great shout, Absolutely. Mate, great shout. Adam, number 9.
Well, you mentioned it was your 10, DX. Yeah. The Attitude Era would never be the Attitude without that. I mean, that was just, and it was one of those things you sort of mentioned when you saw it on the Titantron or you heard the music, you knew something was going to happen, like it's going to be funny, or you know, you at the start you were like, hang on a minute. When the Attitude Era first started, this was kind of what kicked in a way what kicked off argument. You could do so many things that kicked the Attitude Era off. But when they started doing, like, when Shawn Michaels had those things down his pants and he was telling everyone to suck it, and he had, like, you know, and you were like, hold on a minute, it's like. And then they started doing the things like when they dress up as a nation of domination, and
oh my god, that was so. But yeah, that theme tune, especially but like when the flashlight come round from the helicopter. Yeah. Oh, dude, man, I get goosebumps talking about it now. Yeah. Oh, mate, incredible. Yeah, you've got to have them in. For me, number 9, Adam, you've told this story quite a few times about this gentleman and the pyro. Kane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, that for me, again, you go back. It kind of tailed off. Yeah, that's literally the original
version.
Oh my god! I mean, it kind of tailed off a little bit as he, you know, got into his WWE career. The original, especially when he debuted, and they didn't have but the pyro. It was more. I think it was the pyro, and I think the one that stands out for me is when they brought him back on a Monday Night Raw. Paul Bearer come out in the red suit.
Oh, was that when the Team Canada were in the ring?
Oh my god, yeah! And he come out in the red suit, and it was like, "What's going on here?" And the arena went dark, and all of a sudden, the start of Kane's intro music hit Monday Night Raw, and I think Steph was on commentary, and she was like, "Tori, come here, let's go!" And it was just, oh my god! For me, again, the Attitude Era is going to be a running theme, I think, through these intros, because it played such a pivotal role in wrestling. I don't think entrance music today plays as, I don't know what you boys think, it'd be interesting to get your views. I don't think it plays as a pivotal role as it did in, say, the Attitude Era or like WCW. Something, they're good now. Like, people always wax lyrical about, we had Taylor on a couple of weeks ago, John Cena's intro, and so I can't get into all that fucking shit. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you boys think. Do you think wrestling intros are as prominent as they were?
I think it depends on the character. So like Cody Rhodes,
Roman Reigns.
Yeah, right, exactly. Two of the prime examples there are ones where the entrance music is just as important as the person. When Roman Reigns comes out now, and I'll tell it, I mean, we're going to be on my list later, but sometimes when an entrance music hit, you're like, here we go. And we kind of mentioned it with DX. It was going to be fun. It was going to be something like, or like Kane, when you enter, you're like, oh shit, like, you know, because someone's going to get absolutely battered. And nowadays with Roman Reigns, you're coming out and what's the first thing we all do? We throw our ones in the air. That's it. When Cody Rhodes, we're waiting until he starts to pull his arms up before we go, whoa, you know. And there's one actually song on my list that I actually is not on my list. I'm gutted now because I forgot it which was Fozzie's Jericho Judas.
Oh, yeah, dude. That was. Has there been a theme tune in the last 4 or 5 years?
Well, he started this thing where
he used it on when he left. He used it. I think he used it on the Indies a little bit.
Yeah.
And obviously, when AEW started, 4 years ago, whenever it was.
Yeah.
Do you think there's been, Dave? Obviously, you're AEW guru. Has there been a more crowd participation theme tune apart from Seth Rollins? I love the dude, but I hate the theme tune. Has there been, in your opinion, a more crowd participation theme than Chris Jericho's in the last 4 years?
Yeah, there's been more and more of them, hasn't there? You think Jungle Boy as well, you know?
That's more just sort of humming, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, and then you got Orange Cassidy. He used his Jane. Everybody sings that as well. So I think Jericho's is the biggest and the best probably in modern day in terms of a sing along.
Some fans sing at Wembley
word
Stadium.
for word. Yeah,
it will be sung at Wembley.
That's what I'm saying. Can you imagine what that's going to be like when we're at Wembley Stadium?
Everyone sings it from start to finish, and then they fade it out when Jericho
can carry on,
and then the crowd and
he always
every
smiles.
single time.
He always smiles.
You have to, don't you?
Could you imagine that feeling he gets, especially when it's going to be at Wembley? It's going to be absolutely 90,000 people, whatever it is, are literally going to be singing back at him. It's going to be. Mate, it's going to be
doing the show beforehand.
I saw Fozzy. Yeah, they're touring as well. Yeah, I saw that. Where are we? Number 8. Dave, who have you got at number 8 and why, buddy?
So at 8, I've got your 10 and Adam's 9. So we don't really need to say much more about it. DX. I thought for years that it was Rage Against the Machine singing it, and it's not. It's a guy called Chris Warren that they brought in, that Jim Johnston, who, like, so many of these themes were written by him. He brought a guy called Chris Warren in to do that. But like you boys said, so iconic. The intro, the Titantron, all of them coming out together. The X that used to shoot behind them as well, and the fireworks. Yeah, really iconic.
No, yeah, most definitely. Couldn't agree. No, don't disagree. Adam, number 8, my friend, enlighten me.
Well, this is one that doesn't need words, which is the interesting bit. But it was the Ultimate Warrior.
Because 8?
That
low.
Yeah, that low. You might have it at 1, but it's like. But again, it was one of their musics, isn't it? It's just that it's a guitar and a bit of drums, but it served a
8.
All right. Well, you didn't have Triple H at all, so you can,
8. Mate.
What a great song! I mean, it's a great song without even having the lyrics.
The best pop, I think, when he come back to save Hogan at WrestleMania, when Papa Shango and Sid were. If you want to hear
still remember
a pop before it was a pop. Yeah. That crowd went, and Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby
Heenan was like, Beefcake can't help him. He ain't got a friend left. And then
Gorilla Monsoon made that intro. It's the Warriors music.
And then Heenan went, it's the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, honestly, mate, they're two of the greatest commentators ever to live, by the way. But no, good choice, Adam. Good choice, my friend. What about it higher? But okay. Number 8 for me is the NWO.
What one?
Original.
Yeah.
Okay. It's got to be the original for me. I know it's a bit like the NWO. There was a God knows how many. I love the. Don't go on. I'm with Dave. I absolutely love the Wolfpack, but for me, the NWO theme. Again, I mean, it pretty much started back then. It started every Nitro. Once the NWO was formed, there probably wasn't a Monday Night Nitro that didn't start without them and end with them. For me, that just sums up the 90s and the early 2000s of wrestling. Is the end. We've mentioned them all there. The NWO, DX, have just summed up professional wrestling in our childhood. Of just them entrances alone. Again, it comes back to what I said earlier. I don't think you'll ever get anything like that ever again. Them kind of crowd reactions. You get it now. But honestly, if you haven't experienced an Attitude Era crowd reaction, not a phone in sight, there's nothing. It's just the crowd going absolutely bananas. And for me, the NWO, I mean, I know they were meant to be heels, but it's just an iconic. Until this day, I hear that song on the radio, and I think I can't remember. It might have been Radio 1 a couple of months ago, and they were like, whoever the DJ was like NWO, and it was like the geezer who was hosting was like, what are you talking about? It's like WCW, and he was like, I don't know if I can clue what you're talking about, mate. But yeah, I think that'll be iconic forever and ever. But Dave, number 7, my friend, what tickles your fancy?
So it's a bit of a slow burn, this song. I think it gets better and better. It's an iconic start with a big gong. But I've gone for the Undertaker's theme.
7?
Yes. Much higher than yours, is it?
I'm off.
Yeah, I could go.
Adam, can we? Thanks for hosting the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast for a couple of months. You've done it, Dave.
Am I sacked?
Now sacked.
Yeah. You can find something else to do over the weekend.
I love it. Right, I absolutely love it. And at the entrance itself, the overall presentation and everything, particularly when it's got the druids and the fire and all of that, is fantastic. I think the song, though, really kind of picks up towards the end, and that's always the bit that I remember when he's in the ring after a WrestleMania match, after he's clocked up another victory. When it's been on a little bit longer. So that's why it's a little bit lower. But mate,
your top 6 better be fucking incredible, Dave. That's all I'm saying.
I think they are.
Bushwhackers. No, it's personal opinion, Dave. We won't dig you for it. We will, but anyway, come on in, Adam. Redeem us here. Number 7, mate. Who you got and why?
Well, you kind of mentioned one of them. You've said the NWO, but I've gone for Wolfpack at this point. I love that song. I absolutely love that song. I used it on one of our Instagram posts as well. I can't remember which one I've done it on. Might have been when we announced that Buff was coming on. I used it. I love it. It's just one of them songs I can just listen to all day.
So cool, isn't it, man? It was really so cool at the time.
Do you guys like when you hear so say when if you heard something like that on the radio, do you immediately think of wrestling?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. No, good choice, Adam. Redeemed us, mate. Redeemed.
Thanks.
Number 7 for me, purely because of my childhood and when the music hit. Absolutely love the dude, Bret the Hitman Hart.
Cool.
Just for the first 10 seconds, really. Honestly, I was just like, "Yep, here comes the Hitman." I absolutely that was me.
You know
mate.
what we should do?
Slam 92.
Sorry to interrupt, Andy.
No, you're good, mate.
I should play some of these. I should play some of these.
Yeah, if you can get them up on your phone,
I'll just try and find. So you said Bret, right?
Yeah, Bret for me. There's just the first 10 seconds. That again comes back to the whole Attitude Era.
Right, there's an ad that plays on YouTube first these days. We need to get ads on ours when we can. Money out of it.
Monetize.
I don't know if you remember, Bret had a pretty good theme in WCW as well. It was original.
You hear that?
No. Brilliant. That worked.
That worked.
Good everything.
That didn't work for audio or video.
Hold on.
That was neither good for our YouTube watchers or our audio listeners.
Did that work? No.
When did your career start as a DJ?
Yeah, we'll scrap that. Moving on.
Moving on. Let's get DJ Cousins has finished his set. Glastonbury on the phone. Number 6, Dave. Come on, mate. This redeemed. Honestly, I'm judging your top 6 now so heavily because you put
no pressure, Dave.
No pressure, Dave. But who is ahead of The Undertaker?
This is a banger. I'm a massive Alter Bridge fan, and this is Edge's theme, Metalingus. I think you know me, and then it hits in.
At 6.
Mate,
we're all going to fall out.
I could only have 10. There's so many.
We're in a massive barney over this.
You know my top one. You know what that is. That means
I know
to me.
Yeah, I know.
So I've got nine to squeeze in with all the hundreds of themes that have been. So I think I think 6. I think that's just looking at the rest of my list. I think that's justified.
Okay.
Yeah. Number 6.
Don't agree.
I thought Adam was going to jump through Zoom and kill him. Number 6, ads. Come on, mate. Who we got?
This is one that really also goes really well with the character, and it's Randy Orton's voices. The way that he would sliver down to the ring like the Viper, the music that was, kind of that Randy's got voices in his head, and they always used to sound on commentary. He's going to that place, he can hear it. I love the song, and I just think it fit the character really well as well.
No, good choice, mate. Good choice.
In my honourable mentions.
Yeah, in my honourable mentions, actually, I've put Orton down. My number 6, because when I was doing this, I've kind of put in brackets, need help from the lads, because I didn't know who to put. So this will be a good talking point. I've got my favourite tag team of all time, who we discussed last week, the LOD, and the Broog. Yeah, mate, tell me that intro doesn't get you especially when they come back at Rumble. When Edge done it at the Rumble, was it Rumble? We did. Yeah. So I need your help, lads. 6, I've got LOD and Broog. I can't split it because I feel that I've got to have the Broog in there, just purely for the start. Again, the start. I mean, we won't get DJ Cousins to play it because we won't hear it. But purely,
it comes out on video when we upload this. You're all dead. You know that, right?
Okay. But yeah, I need your help, lads. LOD or Broog, in your opinion?
The Brood theme, the Gangrel theme. That's my favourite theme of all time. It's
brilliant. That's number 1 done. Cheers, Dave. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, I'll talk about it more later. But yeah, what a thing. That's always going to get my vote. So it's over to you, Ed, to help
Adam, LOD or Edge and the.
They were both in my honourable mentions, but I think it's because I heard it live at SummerSlam '92. Would have to be LOD. It's just that they're both great for they're both great even for the opening 5 seconds. Yeah, they're both great songs, but the opening 5 seconds is just
There's so many wrestling theme tunes. As soon as they hit, you're like, bam.
Yeah,
this is going to be a banger, as Dave.
Good luck picking that one.
Okay, let's get into your top 5 that doesn't include the Undertaker. Or Edge. You pissed both of us off today, Dave. I joke. Coming in, Dave. Who's number 5, my friend? Who have you got?
So I don't actually think my number 5 is like a great song overall, but as a wrestling theme and the start when that glass shatters, Stone Cold's theme is my number 5.
He's put Austin at 5.
Is that low as well?
Oh my god, he's put Austin at 5. Adam.
Is that low?
What's Rachel? What's Rachel doing next week? Is she available for the top 10?
Can I just add?
I don't. Oh god, he's going to kill me as well.
No, I'm not going to kill you. He's my 5 as well. Austin's my 5 as well.
Oh yeah. Fuck my life! 5.
Yeah.
Taker's at 7.
Yeah, we don't
Austin's at 5. Well, no. Oh, no. Oh, mate, Dave, you can't. If you go back to the recent WrestleMania when he fought KO as well, just to hear that in that setting again. I know he was. I know he was at the WrestleMania at Texas when he come out with Foley and Shaw, but hear that in that setting, and I don't think a Monday night went past in the Attitude Era where you didn't hear that glass smash, got goosebumps. You knew that shit was about to go down. Beers were going to get drunk. Stunners were going to get left, right, and center. For me, that was the Attitude Era for me.
Well, it was usually as well a couple of times per show because he'd come out at the start of the show to cut promo or set up the main event, and then he'd go up, and the reaction would be exactly the same both times.
Do you remember the Sunday Night Heat when he come out and stunned everyone after every match?
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, when he come out in the WWF versus WCW.
I mean,
when he come out and stunned everyone.
Oh yeah.
The theme itself is just kind of repetitive, and it doesn't.
I like the one they done as well when he come back at Backlash.
One.
Dude, that was so good.
Yeah,
that was so good. Nah, good choice, Dave. Good choice, Dave. Won't. No, great choice. Adam, come on in, brother. Top 5. Here we go. Who did Austin? Oh, Austin's your 5 as well.
Yeah.
Number 5 for me is the jabroni beating, pie eating, trailblazing, eyebrow raising people's champ, The Rock.
Yeah. What one though? Hollywood or normal?
Normal.
Oh, I like Hollywood more.
Hollywood was good, but normal, dude. Even now, if he popped back on Monday Night Raw coming this Monday, I'm 17 years old again. I'm up in my front room. I'm excited. For me, that was again my top 5. I was like, a lot of people probably have The Rock at number 1. Iconic, the intro again. We come back to the first few. Is a theme. The first few, yes, mate.
So this is really, really granular and really quite tragic that I would know this detail. But do you prefer the "if you smell" or the "do you smell what the Rock's cooking"?
Oh my god, we're getting into bits now.
Before that, well, that was the original,
if
wasn't
you smell.
it? And
if you smell.
Yeah, the smell was the old one, wasn't it? The "if you smell" was the latest.
Do you smell was the late? Yeah, when he rejigged it.
No, "do you smell" was the original.
Yeah, "do you smell" was the
original. "Do you smell"
was
the original, and then "if you smell" come on,
and then it was Hollywood after that.
Then it was Hollywood. Yeah. He was great as a heel when they turned him into Hollywood. But no, number 5 for me is The Rock. Okay, Dave, come on then. Tell us who you've got in front of The Undertaker and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That was actually a great segue from you then mentioning Hollywood, because my number 4 is Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Oh yes, Jimi Hendrix.
He's
redeemed himself. He's redeemed himself.
It was on my honorable mentions list, but that was a really
Dave. You've just saved your podcast future.
You've pulled it back. Yeah, well done.
Pulled one out of the bag there.
P45 isn't.
No, Adam, take the stamp off the envelope, mate. He doesn't need it yet. Adam, number 4 for you, my man.
We've already mentioned it. It was the original NWO song. Loved it. I thought it was great with the voices though. Has to have the voices in it. We said like the great famous icon in wrestling and all that stuff, and Too Sweet, and you had to have all of that in it for it to work. But I loved it. It's brilliant.
Number 4 for me was it's professional wrestling for me. It's Real America, Hulk Hogan.
It was in my honorable. I tried to get it in.
I don't think if just that. I like the down, but I like that. I am.
Did you get the bit at the start before he even sung it as well?
Yes, little droney kind of. Dude, look, I just got goosebumps now, mate. Honestly, I struggled. I was like, I'm putting him at 4, but I really want to put him higher. But then I'm looking at my top 3, and I'm like, but that for me, especially when they debuted Real American. I think they debuted that in like the early 90s, I want to say. Real America, like maybe like Rumble, somewhere like that, 91, 92.
Period,
it was a rap. Yeah. For me, that way. And that's when he was at when that hit, that's when he was wrestling. Let's not beat around the bush. Back in the 80s and the early 90s, 91, 92, 93, before the Attitude Era really kicked off, he was wrestling. That theme tune was, and still is till this day, professional wrestling.
Yeah.
When you talk about wrestling, you've got to talk about Hogan's. Yeah, so Hogan's my number 3. But boys, let's get into our top 3s. This is going to be interesting. Dave, number 3, my friend. Who are you choosing?
I think my job's safe because my top 3 we've already done. So my top 3, Triple H, the game. So that original Motorhead one that he came out to. When it was the whole thing, the amount of bottles of water that I got through as a kid, as a teenager, when we used to wrestle over an old
Dave's
factory.
mum asking him why he's spitting water around the front room.
Water, not beer, Mum. Water. It was honestly water. But no, we used to wrestle in an old factory, a derelict factory, and we built a wrestling ring. And we used to come out and we used to do the whole entrance, the head
Please
side
tell
to
me
side.
There's video footage of this somewhere.
Oh, possibly.
Oh, Adam, that's got to go on YouTube.
Deep on VHS somewhere.
That's got to be.
We can get those videos. We can get those videos to the computer conversions now.
Yeah. For me, Triple H. A lot of people do it now, and they kind of their theme or parts of the theme they tie into their entrance. Like the biggest example at the minute is Adam Cole. But that Triple H entrance was the first time for me that somebody
was there a better live entrance at Mania than Triple H?
Well, at Motorhead
for the production, would you say? The one he done with Steph on the back of the bike.
I always thought Undertaker's was better.
WrestleMania for me, and I know you didn't like it, but my honorary mention is Triple H. But for me at Mania, Triple H, you could see the thought that had gone into his intros. They're up there.
That's such a big part of Mania now, isn't it? The entrances.
It's a huge part of Mania now, isn't it? The intro Undertaker's intro takes about 15 minutes when he was there. It took about 10 minutes at the best. Mania with the ramp being as long as it is. You can Taker can start his ramp the walk at 8, and by 20 past he might be in the ring. But no.
With Triple H, he's always had good. I mean, his first song in WWE was crap, but when he went to My Time as well, and then you've got King of Kings to add on to that. I mean, there are 3 songs that easily could have made the top 10. Easily,
not even in my top 10.
I know there isn't. I'm sure. I'm just disgusted about it.
Sorry, mate. Sorry. Come on in, ads. Who have you got at 3?
Taker. Undertaker. What are you shaking your head for? The other 2 are personal preference.
Okay.
This is the Undertaker, as in the dead man, not the American Badass. He had some great songs as well. There's another one, didn't he? He had Limp Bizkit, didn't he? Then he done the You're Gonna Pay one as well after that. But that one, and the kind of Taker and the Ministry Taker I liked. But again, it was one of those things that I want to get a guest one of these days. I want to get a guest on that's fought the Undertaker. Because I want to ask him, what is it like being in that ring? We should have asked Cardona when we had him on like a month or so ago. We should have asked Cardona when that gong goes off and you're in the ring and he's walking out to you. I can't imagine you must be like, you must freeze or, but he's free from my.
Shane Douglas ever wrestled him?
I don't think so.
That could be one for you. Have a little look in the.
I'll have to have a look. I've got to look at that anyway. So
we've got the no, God, mate, great show. I mean, geez, Taker. Number 3 for me is the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, I had him lower on my list, but yeah.
Just doesn't really need any more discussion. It's the Warrior. It's incredible. Love to do. One of the greatest intros for me ever. Let's do our top 2 then, lads. Dave, top 2nd best intro ever.
So you've both got it on your list. We've talked about it extensively. The original NWO theme for me is slid in number 2. It's just that like such a happy, great period in my life. My teens and the Monday Night Wars and the Attitude Era. Were you
team WWF or WCW, Dave?
So I won't go too long with the story because it's boring. But to begin with, right, we had Sky, but we got a free Sky box when my mum and dad bought a new telly, but it didn't have a card. It didn't have we didn't have a subscription. There was just like 10 or 12 channels you got for free.
And you worked at midnight.
Where we got. Well, we had it was Cartoon Network during the day, which we used to watch as kids.
Yes,
obviously.
me and Adam said about this. Yeah,
it changed over to TNT,
after
and then I discovered WCW like by accident, and then I'd watch wrestling a little bit as a kid. I knew Hulk Hogan and the Warrior, and I knew like the iconic names. But this was really at the height of the NWO just kicking off. So off the back of that, I really got into WF as well. And like my friends at school, like the WWF. So convinced my dad to get us a Sky subscription. It cost him 40, 50 quid a week at the time, whatever it was.
Oh, imagine paying that now.
And then from that time, it was both. It was every week I would watch both. And I had like a bit of a loyalty to WCW because that's where it started for me.
Mm-hmm.
But then I got into the WWF in equal measure, and I loved them both.
Yeah, no.
That was my that's my wrestling origin story.
No, thoroughly enjoyed it. Adam, number 2, sir. Hit me.
Again, we've already mentioned it. Mine was the game from Triple H. Never forget the return from his quad.
Denim on denim, if I remember.
Yeah.
He had like a leather
jacket, denim on denim.
I went to WrestleMania 21. They done a fan access in a mall in LA, and they had that out for auction. You don't know how tempted I was to smash the glass and take it out of the
How much did it go for, man?
I can't remember now. It was a lot of money.
Thousands.
I mean, I would have loved. I mean, it was that. I mean, I wasn't. The weird thing was, it's kind of like my number 1 as well. I wasn't a fan of them straight. I wasn't a fan of Triple H instantly. It took that injury and him to come back before I started actually really like. Because I used to like his theme, like I said, the one before that was My Time, and I used to like that as well. But I didn't used to like him, and even when he was Here Was the Game, I used to like him in the end. But yeah, it took me a while. But that music for me, again, you talk about when the music hits, you knew that the measuring stick of the industry was coming out, and that was it.
No, good choice, mate. Good choice. My number 2 is the Dead Man.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, I was 3. Dave's was at 7. Ridiculous. But...
Dave's was at 7. For everyone, again, let's reiterate that. Dave put the Undertaker at 7.
Oh, I'll still stand by it, to be honest.
No, yeah, always stand by it, Dave. Always
stand by your choices.
Yeah. Always stand by your choices, even me and Adam.
Even when they're wrong.
Even if we even when they're wrong, and me and Adam don't agree. But no, number 2, Undertaker. No, nothing more needs to be said, really. I've been very fortunate enough to be in arenas when that comes. And I was in when I saw the Undertaker live. They were doing some tours over in the UK, and obviously saw him at SummerSlam. These are the days before you could get out your phone and film it. You just stand there and you're just looking around. And, the smoke would come up from the back and everyone was just, oh, my God, here, you're going to get to see The Undertaker live. I don't know what you guys think. I think we might have taken it for granted back then because now he's retired and he's doing all these talking tours and stuff. But just to, again, like Dave, like you said earlier about your story about the WWF and WCW, back then it was the internet wasn't as rife, the mobile phone wasn't a thing. You were in the arena, you were living in the moment. When that smoke, and all of a sudden, dong, you're like, oh my God. I remember being at the NEC in a house show and he was fighting The Rock. Oh my God. The whole place was just silence. You could hear a pin drop when his entrance happened, and obviously the light. Brilliant. Come on in, Dave. Bearing in mind you put the Undertaker at 7. Who is at number 1?
I know this is controversial, but Ad knows this is my favourite theme of all time. I would love to get Gangrel on the podcast to talk about it at some point, just because it's so iconic. It means a lot to me personally, which sounds strange, but my first show that I went to was at the Attitude Adjustment Tour. It was in Birmingham.
Oh, yes.
I had the original. I bought the Rock T-shirt. I bought the DX Suck It T-shirt. I bought the Stone Cold Austin 316 T-shirt. The same show. It was that period.
Was that the one with the cage matches, the main event? The one I went to in Birmingham was the Rock. The Rock was in a cage match. Something to do with Shane McMahon and Austin. I can't remember.
No, it was before that, mate. It was before that. I think Rock and Undertaker were in the main event.
Yeah,
but it was that period. And to begin with, Edge, Christian and Gangrel had matches, but individually. So those matches were back to back to back as well. So for 330, it was the Brood theme, and it just stuck with me from then. I thought it was such a cool theme. And yeah, I'd love to get Gangrel.
You must have been buzzing when they brought it back recently.
Yeah, I was really, really hoping at WrestleMania just gone that Edge would do the whole entrance with Christian and Gangrel. You know, that AEW would release Christian and Gangrel would come back. Edge did a really good job at the Rumble, and I love that. But yeah, that is my favourite theme of all time. So nothing's moving at the minute.
Great choice, my friend. Great choice. Come on in, Mr. Cousins. Who have you got and why? I can probably guess, but who have you got?
You remember last week we done the greatest tag teams, and I said I missed Edge and Christian off, and Edge wasn't part of my number 10. He's number one for me. And again, it's a personal preference thing as much as it is anything else. But you know, that song was sung at Clash at the Castle. Dave, you were there. You sung it. Probably did as well. I imagine you did.
Yeah.
You were sitting right near Tyson Fury in the end, wasn't it? Anyway, that's another story for another day. Yeah, Edge. Just I can't really say anything more. It's been my favorite song for so long. It's still on my music player thing. I still have it on there, and it's still got. I was pissed when he joined the Judgment Day and they changed it. Although that song that song actually grew on me in the end, and it still does. The Judgment.
It's another Alter Bridge one, isn't it?
Yeah. Other side. Yeah, it's that grew on me, but Edge for me. There was one on my list that I couldn't quite get on. I wanted to was Mr. Perfect.
Oh, Jesus!
I thought about that.
Yeah. Have you got any honorary mentions as well, Dave, that you want to get in there before I reveal my number one?
Yeah,
one that didn't make your top 10. Bear in mind you put Taker at 7.
Yeah, one. Drew McIntyre's theme by Shaman's Harvest, The Broken Dreams.
Broken Dreams. Yeah,
I was so chuffed when he came out to that at Clash of the Castle to begin with. I thought that was great, you know. And then he went into his current theme. But I used to love that. But he probably didn't use it for long enough, and it wasn't. You know, he wasn't at the point in his career like he is now. You know, he's established at the top of the card. But yeah, that could have snuck into my 10 on another day.
Goldberg as well could have snuck into mine. Very rare. Again, just it didn't need anything, did it? It was one of those.
It's probably the only top 10 list that he's going to make. Unless when we do our top 10 shittest wrestlers, he might make that.
Or we do our top 10. You know, the Jackhammer could get in the top 10 finishers.
WCW Jackhammer, not the one where he can barely lift.
Not the one where
not Saudi Arabia.
No, the one when he nearly killed the Undertaker.
The Undertaker literally nearly did rest in peace.
Other one. So one last one. Savage, the old Macho King.
Yeah. Yeah, no, WrestleMania 7. I never forget that when he Ultimate Warrior retirement match. That was Miss Elizabeth crying her eyes out. That theme tune was brilliant. My number one. There's only one person that's ever going to be number one of my list.
Matt Riddle.
The Bushwhacker. No. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Glass smashes, mate. Everyone just goes absolutely bananas. Like I said earlier, to this day, WrestleMania 2 years ago against KO, whenever he turns up, I loved Austin 316 day, even though it's during COVID and he come out and there was no one there. Just hearing that glass smash for me will always just remind me. So, like we said, Adam, on a few podcasts, and Dave, obviously, I know you were the same. We used to watch Raw on a Friday. So there used to be about 8 of us in my good Nick, who listens to this, Nick Brayshaw. I know he'll be listening or watching to this. We always used to meet at his house on a Friday night. Me, him, John, Craig, loads of us. Austin, all of us, we're in our teens. We're all giving middle fingers, and Nick's parents are like, what the f is going on in the front? He used to run around like an absolute madman if he'd come out during a match. Yeah, so for me, the glass smashing will always be. I reckon in 20, 30 years, you can mention like the likes of like what you boys have said, Austin, Triple H, the Undertaker. You can mention them theme tunes in 20, 30 years, and they'll still be talked about the way they are talked about now. So no, great top 10, boys. Great top 10.
Yeah, we've got a lot of the same themes at different positions in the top 10, haven't we, as well? We agree on a lot of the tracks selected. Just not necessarily where we put them.
There were some things.
Could have had Ric Flair's could have been in there for nostalgia, or as Shane Douglas calls him, Dick Flair.
Couldn't fucking agree more. When are we doing top 10 most overrated wrestlers? Ric Flair's number 1. Done. There you go. Don't invite me on that show. He's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Geezer's fucking terrible. Can't stand him. Anyway, Boys, great show. Dave, awesome to come on and do a full podcast with you, mate. You're doing an absolute tremendous job over doing the AEW reviews. I know we've got Collision now, which we will be dropping our Collision show tomorrow. That'll be out. I know Sunday, sorry, that'll be out. We'll be dropping our Collision show. I know that you and Adam honestly doing great work with the AEW stuff, mate. I haven't had the chance to host a full show with you, mate. I know I've popped in every now and again, but we're so grateful to have you on Team Buckle, mate, and absolutely love what you're doing, mate. You are definitely an AEW guru. You put The Undertaker at 7. I won't hold it against you.
Oh, thank you for having me as part of the team, man. You know, I've been learning from you two as I've gone. You know, you two have been helping me out massively, and obviously watching your show before I was a part of it. You know, so yeah, my progression or me getting any better is down to you two guys as well. So yeah, I'm really grateful to be part of the team.
Ads, awesome to sit down and talk some wrestling with you again, mate.
Where's my stuff?
I see you every. I see
feeling left out here.
Yeah, I see him. You know, I love you, Adam. You have 2 birthdays. We celebrate you enough. No, but Adam, always a pleasure to sit down and do these top 10s with you. I'm not. Do we know a top 10 next week? Have we got a clue what we're doing?
No, we're looking at finishes, I think.
All top 10 finishers next week. So anyone that wants to contribute at HTT Buckle on Twitter, you can find us on Facebook. Comment on any of the YouTube videos. Let us know your top 10 entrances of all time. But I have been your host, Andy Burrows. This has been another episode of the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. I've been joined by my illustrious co-host, Mr. DM. Adam, what's your nickname again?
Adam C. Baby.
Adam C. Baby. What the?
Or just go, boom.
Oh, Jesus. Anyway, till next time, everybody, buckle down and stay safe.